This is Sybert signing into Red Alert Remastered on the map Equal Opportunity. And as the yellow German allies in the top left-hand corner, this is Sy. In the bottom right-hand corner as the blue Soviets, so USSR Soviets that is, this is Docsworld. So Soviets, 10% cheaper stuff. Germany, 10% more damage, I believe. And Equal Opportunity being the map, not one that I am very familiar with. Lots of land bridges and then regular bridges. Nice land bridge up in the north. Very split map with this river. Going to be moving those big tank armies that we usually see in Red Alert. Kind of difficult. I guess these land bridges in the north and the south are going to be the easiest way to do that. But other than that, it's, you know, fairly open, which... This terrain kind of breaks it up just enough. I guess the biggest opening spot is maybe over here. But this terrain breaks it up enough to that it might actually be really troublesome to have a big tank army on this map. Lots of infantry coming out from Docsworld in the middle. And decent number of infantry in the south for Sy. Going to be able to overwhelm the forces of Docsworld down here, but that'll give Docsworld some time to potentially respond. Respond with something, I assume. Well, I guess we'll have to see if Sy is able to do any damage with this group. The answer so far is no. Everything gets eliminated before it matters. And last couple of units do end up going down there. Sy unable to make any real progress happen. Couple of tanks showing up for Sy. Going to be going for some potential crushes, but also a little teensy bit of harvester harassment. Sy going just the one refinery, it looks like, for now, getting a second harvester out of the war factory, potentially before the tanks showed up. First heavy tank going to be the response from Docsworld, and actually there isn't really a ton of space to build because the ore is so close to where you spawn. There actually isn't a ton of space to build kind of south in the base crawl as much on this map to your like second ore field. Where ordinarily you might want to be base crawling up to like a refinery placement there, or maybe down here. But in this case, you can't really base crawl that way because of the ore. So once you clean up that field, you should be good to go. But that'll be a couple minutes into this game. Docsworld continuing to pump out those heavy tanks. One more going to be showing up. 2 war factory production. Single war factory for Sy. So the production actually may be a little bit faster for Docsworld, even though the heavy tanks ordinarily would take longer to produce. With the 2 war factories, it may actually be a little faster for Docsworld. Second refinery up and running for Sy. Docsworld a little strapped for cash, but not terribly so, with those 3 harvesters harvesting pretty regularly, and the runs are relatively short. This guy, I don't know, maybe he was sent to go deal with the gems. Lots of infantry getting crushed, and then medium tanks going to be moving in for Sy, going for the kill on the harvester. They will be able to clean up one harvester very nicely there, and they can escape if they should so choose, and they do indeed go for the escape right now. One of them gets pathed the wrong way, and the heavy tanks get a couple of extra shots there. Docsworld not going to be going for the kill just yet. He's instead going to be turning back down south, and that's maybe going to be the good choice because these riflemen would be able to do a bit of damage to the buildings. It looks like the barracks did end up getting sold off, so it's just going to be war factory units for Docsworld, and Sy could potentially make use of that opportunity. Again, infantry are not great, but when they are left unattended, they will do some big damage, and that's what we could end up seeing here. They're going directly for the power plant. Now, this is post-patch, so the low power mode is not as devastating as it was previously, but it still can be problematic. One power plant going down may not be enough to really swing things into the side of Sy, but yeah, the power plant goes up. So, almost a significant move. Ended up not being all that relevant for Docsworld. Was able to deal with it quite nicely. Sell-off of the MCV gets an engineer, so maybe that engineer can find a low-health building, possibly just being used to do a bit of damage to one of the buildings. Docsworld committed from this point forward, and a little bit less infrastructure for his opponent to kill. Sometimes we see these games coming down to just last couple of structures. Psy's got a big tank army, but we've seen big tank armies evaporate in the past, and advantages swing from one side to the other side. Moving in for the kill, going to try and surround some of these tanks on the right side, but of course Docsworld trying to do the exact same thing. Reinforcements a little bit faster for Docsworld, a little bit longer of a drive time for Psy, and it looks like Docs is going to be able to hold off this attack for now. Going to be able to crush these last couple of medium tanks, some of them surviving with low health for a little while, but one medium tank almost getting set directly into the main base of Docsworld before it gets turned around to join the fight. And Docsworld, no reinforcements have really been driving up for Docsworld, while constant reinforcements have been showing up for Psy. Sold off the MCV, did Psy, and there is going to be the run-in with these units. Rifleman's going to be adding a little bit of extra DPS. Psy still hasn't quite overwhelmed Docsworld just yet. 2 more heavy tanks going to be moving on up north. Getting dangerously close for Docsworld, but with the reinforcements, he should be okay. Tank's going to be getting pulled back for Psy, and again, Docsworld doesn't necessarily have enough to drive across the map and end the game right now. Psy's reinforcements are pretty steady, and I don't know that Docsworld actually has enough of a numbers advantage to overwhelm the reinforcements as well. Although if he catches a couple of these tanks with some lucky kind of barrages, gets a little bit of a concave, he could even things up and push himself into an advantage, but trading tank for tank is going to be favoring Psy with the faster production. Docsworld going to be kind of pulling back a little bit here, needs to keep his harvesters safe, but also keep his tanks alive. As you can see, a couple of them very low on health. Psy has not been able to eliminate them. Psy once again going to be getting pushed back. Sells off one of the war factories. I guess not enough cash coming in to justify the faster production times. And for now, it's going to be just the one war factory pumping out medium tanks. One war factory as well for Docsworld, so similar situations. Maybe forced to sell off one of those refineries, as well as the drive time for these harvesters gets pretty long. Decent number of medium tanks, decent number of heavy tanks for both players. A couple of medium tanks way up here in the north for Psy. Hopefully he does not forget about them. A couple of riflemen going to be sneaking along the south side of the map. We've seen that from Psy in the past. Once again, the 7.5 minute mark in the replay, suddenly things start speeding up. And I guess it switches over into like the next mode up, the next speed up. Game speed up. A couple of medium tanks packed along with this, and Psy, if Psy isn't careful, then Docsworld can just swing down to the south and defend this attack with all of his heavy tanks. Yeah, and he's just going to get a couple of free kills if there's no opportunity taken by Psy. That one medium tank, or that one heavy tank, which is Psy's color, getting picked up there by Docsworld. Couple of riflemen going to be cutting in. They do get crushed very nicely there by Docsworld. Psy unable. Oh, catching a harvester could be a little bit nice here. One harvester down. There's still 2 harvesters out on the field, so the economy does get cut down a little bit here, but there is still hope and production alive for Docsworld. Docsworld now going to be just gunning for it, but Psy has the advantage of being able to collect a couple of extra kills before the rest of the heavy tanks arrive, and now it's just a mess, a fervor of attacking on both sides, as the medium tanks may have the superior numbers, but of course the heavy tanks have the heavier guns, superior firepower. Psy overwhelming Docsworld. Reinforcements, of course, getting there a bit faster for Psy as well, and Docsworld just doesn't have the numbers. Psy should be able to just push across the map and for now win the game. Barely able to eke out the win in that one, and I don't know what he was attacking at the last. Oh, that yellow heavy tank, the stealth heavy tank there, going to be for Docsworld. And that'll be it. Docsworld dropping out of the game. Psy able to narrowly scoop out the victory in that match. And that will do it for this game, for this map. Thank you all very much for watching. And this is Sybert signing out.